Hello, good morning. Welcome to JoyNews Dex. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle on Fanover Street. Coming up this morning, MPP wins Kumawu parliamentary seat again with 71% of total votes cast. We'll bring you a wrap of the contest and what this means. The main opponent from the NDC makes of the polls, as well as its implication on the NDC's chances in the Ashanti region. Also this morning, we will review all our flagship programs. Government opens up to the IMF as it prepares to publish a strategy to determine the future of all flagship programs, including the free SHS policy. Stay with us as we bring you details plus analysis on this. And later on, Climate Focus will put the spotlight on farming palm weevil for food security and climate change mitigation. We have all of this plus details of business coming up shortly. My name is Ajay Ibrahim. Do stay for details. The new patriotic party's NSCR has won the Kumawu parliamentary by-elections with 71% of total vote cast. He polled 15,264 votes to beat closest contender Amankwa of the National Democratic Congress, who had 3,723 votes. The two independent candidates in the contest failed to pull surprises. Returning officer Paul Ejenim Ajeman declared NPP's Enim winner.
21,731, 21,721, 731, sorry. And now, by the power vested in me, Paul Ajimai, as a constituency returning officer for Kumawu, I hereby declare you, Ernest, please come over. Ernest Yao Enim of the NPP as a parliamentary member of parliament elect for Kumawu constituency. Thank you, and may the good Lord bless us all.
Mr. Enim in his victory speech promised to work harder to meet the confidence and expectations reposed in him by the electorate. First is his assurance that all roads in the area would be given facelift in the next 14 months.
I have promised the people of Kumawu that the contractor is going to be with us for the next 14 months. He is going to make sure that every road that is in the pipeline from Efijase all the way to Raso is constructed. He is going to work on the Kumawu town roads, which includes Abotanso, Pepiase, and all the surrounding towns within Kumawu. So for us, we know we have said and we are going to deliver. This is not a lie. This is not to win the seat. This is something that the party was committed to doing and the government was committed to doing. We are going to continue to do more in the education sector. We are going to do more in agriculture. We are going to help with the unemployment situation we have in the constituency. There are several other things that we intend doing for our people, and I believe that the people of Kumawu are going to see progress, they are going to see development. Mining in our say, Metinia Corona Boom, Metinia Puntua Kumawu, Metinia Bua, Akikayan in our boom, Ama, yet made in your mapa. Mekane, Yaya, last rally. Say Yankopona Bekasa and Ne Edue. Mekane baby so say a Juma Yaya, any a Juma MPP party, Yaya, Gusua Yaya, and Kunimdia and Namko Mubana, and Kunimdia Cassia. Namen Passameto Nam baby, but Nametia, Makuma Muno, Menim Kunimdia Cassia, and Alabama MPP party. Ghana and Naji MPP Atun say MPP in the party, Yabets Media Court, Promised Land, no MPP in the party, Omoka, Omoya, and Nayakasi Abe Kumokwa, and Yahu. ya ka se ebeboa asiese Kumawu District Hospital and ne August ye be hospital no ama Kumawu ma ye nya esomfaso MPP at the school feeding program by the free SHS by Ghana for nya somfaso Kumawu anya somfaso we ne nhehye party no ya boa Ghana man ene Kumawu man etina menim se Ghana for be hye na na do animonyam Kumawu Yabesha Nanadu and Monyam, Yabesha His Excellency, the Vice President and Monyam, Yash MPP Party and Monyam, Amananado, MPP Nino say, and Yoma Moya Kumauha, and Yoma Yaya Organa, Kumaumai, Yania So, Yaniaji, Asaya, just breaking the 8 na yakana, a possible. Yabesa breaking 8 no account. Into 2024, it is where a total a year, a just a statement that just the MPP we are ready to break the 8.
How do you seek to break the 8?
His main contender, meanwhile, from the NDC, claims he won the elections. Why? Listen.
A very, very sad day for Kumawu politics and Ghana politics because I'm thinking about the future for the youth. That to solve futures for 50 cities and the MPP party.
Hello, Ernest.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just trying to be careful with my choice of words because it's very pathetic. It's a very sad day because people deliberately buying votes, buying people's future for 50 cities, for 20 cities. I'm very, very saddened in my heart.
You have evidence of that vote buying?
There's videos everywhere. I saw some with my own 2 eyes. There were places that I was actually just speaking to people that, you know what, this is pathetic.
But that's...
It doesn't speak well of politics. It doesn't speak well of us as Ghanaians to be doing things like that.
That's an electoral offense. Why didn't you report it?
We raised the alarm, and to be honest, that's why I'm saying that I'm very, very saddened. It's not to let me be very upfront. I see myself as a winner. I have won this election, not in any way, but I feel that I've set the paper to push for this development that we need and then to stand up as a very strong competitor. So I'm very proud of myself and I'm proud of my team. But I'm saddened for what happened and for what it means for Ghana politics and for what it means for our youth and for what it means for the youth of Kumawu. That's why I'm saddened. Because these things were done with so much impunity. There were places that I got to that you had people about 2 meters away, about 200 meters away from the venue where the elections were going on, and they were dishing out cash to people and threatening them that if you take the money, you have to go and vote for us, and all these things that they believe in. And I mean, I was so sad. There were instances that I met to agree with these young people. I met with a few of these young people, and they, I've forgotten the name, but I think it was Bangkok. There's a town called Bangkok in Kumawu, and I had about 6 university students who came up to me that, look, these people are paying money. We want to vote for you. Can you give us, or can you match the money that they're paying? And I said, look, I can give you more than what they're paying you, but my conscience cannot allow me to do that. So what's your price? And this is the future that we're looking at. This is our future leaders who are willing to sell their future for 50 cities.
So you said you raised alarm to who? And what was the response after raising that alarm?
We raised alarm to I've forgotten the name, the electoral officers. And their excuse was, look, we've not seen it with our own eyes, and we don't have any proof of it, and they are not here. So some of them, I would even point them out to them, and they're like, well, they are not here. So obviously, technically, we can't see them.
All right.
We're them in the face, but technically, we can't see them because they are not here. What somebody is doing over there has got nothing to do with us here.
Government says it's taking necessary steps to review all existing flagship programs as part of its objectives to strengthen fiscal policy. This was contained in the IMF's May 2023 country report on Ghana. One of the flagship programs, Free SHS, has already been described by the fund as poorly targeted, with the country's education system producing poor learning outcomes. My colleague Isaac Kufieje has been studying that report. He joins me with more. He will be joining us shortly with more on that, but we'll get onto the IMF issues shortly. But for now, an entomologist with the University of Energy and Natural Resources is raising public awareness about the consumption of African palm weevil larvae known as akokono in the Akan language. According to Dr. Jacob Pachiga, the coordinator of the Health Insect Project, the insect is highly nourishing for the body and has a potential to protect the environment because it generates little or no greenhouse gases. The Health Insect Project farm in Sonyai is only about 10 feet square in size, but it holds about 300 rearing beans. JoyNews' Mahmoud Mohamed Nuruddin was at the farm in Sonyai and now reports.
So these beans you are seeing all over here have either the larval or adult stages of the African palm larva, which is traditionally known as akokono in the Akan language. So we use very simple agricultural products and sometimes agricultural waste to produce these nutritious edible insects.
Dr. Jacob Amankwa, an entomologist and lecturer at the University of Energy and Natural Resources, says the larvae grow between 21 and 28 days before harvesting.
Once these ones hatch and grow up to 21 to 28 days, they are often ready for the market. So harvesting a few of them. I don't want, some have started weaving cocoons, so I don't want to bother them so much. So you can have a look. If you see a bin like this, it has coconut husks and other, so you see larvae all over. You can see larvae everywhere. I was just harvesting a few of them.
They have a high rate of reproduction, and one bean can harvest between 150 and 180 larvae, weighing around 1 kilogram depending on the size.
So 150 to 180 will be a kilogram depending on the sizes. Because you see, if these ones are much smaller than these ones. Okay, so these are actually ready for the market. This is about the 8th insta stage. So it means these eggs were laid first. Yeah, so each bean has a minimum of 1 kilo. Some have 2 kilos, others have as high as 5 kilograms. And all this depends on the number of adults I have put in each bean. Some have just 3 pairs, others have 2 pairs. But if you have 5 pairs, then you are getting a lot of larvae. Because each female adult can lay as much as 300 eggs. But the thing is, not all the eggs will hatch. And if they all hatch, not all of them will grow into adulthood, because if there is limited food, they may be cannibalism in the beans.
It contains 19 of the 21 essential amino acids, as well as high levels of protein and iron.
They have 19 out of the 21 essential amino acids, and they have superior protein and iron content that I will share with you at a different point in time. So if you come and take a look at this, this is a bin containing, these are 2 bins containing adults that we inoculated 3 weeks ago. And these are the adult stages. They are dead now. And then these are the larvae. These are just 3 weeks old. And you can see them looking healthy, strong, and yummy. So these ones will lay eggs, and the eggs will hatch into young larvae.
The edible insect emits no or very little greenhouse gas. According to Dr. Amankwa, eating them could help with both food insecurity and climate change.
And then whereas the beef has 14 milligrams of calcium, the insect has 88 milligrams. So somebody should tell me why we should not promote the consumption of edible insects. Then again, these insects do not emit greenhouse gases. Only a few groups of insects emit little greenhouse gases. If you compare these to conventional meats like beef, these produce 100 times less greenhouse gases. Okay, and then if you also look at the amount of vegetation you need as the palm larvae, you need little space. Look at this little space that I'm using, and I'm producing several kilos per week.
Currently, 1 kilogram of palm larva costs between 70 and 100 cedis.
We produce and we are not able to meet the quantities that people are purchasing. Because if I tell you the number of people who place orders and the class in society who place orders, you'll be shocked. That is why the prices have gone up to about 70 to 100 Ghana cedis per kilo. And why is it expensive? It's because we are not so many, just a few people are producing.
Dr. Amankwa refuses to share his trade secret, but says that production is simple and cost effective.
So you need a simple redding bin like this, which is relatively cheaper. Okay, this is a bin that you need, and then you need a wire mesh like this, and this is supposed to prevent predators and parasitoids. When I say predators, I mean wall jackals, lizards, rats, and parasitoids are insects that feed on other insects. And then you also need a rope and then a rubber band to hold it in place, and then you need a cloth like this just to cover as I'm doing, so that those insects which can actually penetrate the wire mesh holes will not be able to penetrate that. So you can see that other insects have come to lay their eggs on the cloth. We simply wash this periodically. So without this wire mesh, all these insect eggs would have been inside the bin, and that will contaminate our setup, and that is why we're doing this.
The entomologist says Ghana must push for innovation to encourage the growth of insects in order to help the economy grow and protect the environment.
So we can collaborate with these people, get them on board, train and empower them to produce the black soldier fly, Hermetia illucens larvae, which will augment or replace fish meal in the diets of poultry, fish, and pigs. And I'm sure with that, we'll be able to fully feed our people with the right amount of protein without necessarily importing protein. And that will go a long way in helping the economy, because we will no longer have to spend so much cedi to buy dollars and import meat products.
A report by Mohammed Nuruddin.
The Northern Electricity Distribution Company, NEDCO, has assured customers in the Northeast region that steps have been taken to resolve the high incidence of power outages currently being experienced in that region. The frequent power outages have become a major source of concern to residents. Customers in the East Mamprusi municipality and the Mumprugu-Nyankbanduri districts, for instance, have had to petition the power distributor demanding stable electricity supply. Speaking during a revenue mobilization exercise in Nalrugu, the NEDCO Bolgatanga area manager, engineer Eugene Odoi-Ado, explained that some measures have been taken to fix the challenge. Correspondent Elias Otanko has more.
NEDCO has announced the return of its staff stationed at the power switching station in Boko in the Upper East region. These staff, who were providing a 24-hour service via a shift arrangement, fled the power control room during the recent escalation of violence in the Boko area. The staff had been moved from Boko to Bolga, and their working hours at the switching station reduced from a 24-hour service to from the hours of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The absence of the staff at the control room, coupled with the inability of the company to carry out its routine maintenance over the years, triggered the rampant power outages in Garu and its surroundings, including the East Mamprusi municipality and the Bunkpurgu-Nakpanduri district in the Northeast region, as well as some areas of neighboring Burkina Faso and Togo. Speaking in the regional capital, Nalrugu, the NEDCO area manager, however, stated that measures were in place to resolve the situation.
Within this week, we've reviewed certain things, and there's been quite a we station the guys at Zabila for proximity's sake, so they can expedite action anytime there is a situation in the evening. Under military cover, of course, police cover. And then also we've managed to get somebody stationed at the control room. So in the events that the power goes on in the night, we are able to install. Then we've also detailed a team from the border office to come and then augment the efforts being put in place by people like Cedi, and then those other supervisors in Garu and then Munkrubu, just to improve on the quality of service. Because for the past 2 years, we've not been able to do thorough maintenance on our line. We are making attempts to get that one addressed in the future. But they'll come around this weekend. When all these things are done, we are hoping that there will be significant improvement in the network. As you can see in the past few days.
The area manager, Eugene Odoi-Ado, was speaking during a revenue mobilization exercise in Nalergo and Gambaga. The exercise, despite the erratic power supply in the region, was led by the team from Bolga and was to retrieve monies in debt from customers as part of the company's revenue mobilization drive. The team first visited the Nalergo Baptist Medical Center, where the Billing and Protection Officer, William Kwame Asare, led the discussion with the hospital administrator.
We have two accounts here. One outstanding bill is, as at March, is 413,000. The other one, the outstanding bill as at March is 58,091. So we expect the facility to pay the bills.
I was even elected that they even got just like because they have been given to the actually people at the head office now.
The military one or your CHAC one?
The ministry and the CHAC one.
The military one is what we are working with.
The CHAC one is what we
The CHAC one, the CHAC one, they put it somewhere. Okay. Because the CHAC one, we are not working with it.
At the Nalergo Nursing and Midwifery Training College, management pleaded to be given more time to clear their arrears.
Because at March, April payment was not packed. So if I take out the 100,000 you pay, the total indebtedness is 386,505. And it's the reason why we are here.
The students will come by the 20th. They will start paying. I believe that by the close of this month, if we are not able to knock off the entire thing, we will have paid at least minimum 200,000.
Tempest, however, fled on the other hand when the team arrived on the campus of the Gambaga College of Education after a misunderstanding between the team and the college's head of finance, who was disputing the amount in debt quoted by the NEDCO staff. His conduct angered the officers to order the disconnection of the school, but later rescinded their decision after a plea by the accountant. The exercise was also conducted at the regional office of the Ghana Health Services. The Billing and Protection Officer, William Asare, speaking after the exercise, encouraged customers to pay up their bills to avoid disconnection from power supply.
This will prevent us from getting to where we are now, where these institutions have huge unpaid bills. Once they commit to paying the current bills, it's a good sign for us. As for the arrears, like you notice, we have had an arrangement with all of them to pay the arrears over a period of time.
He added that as part of a new arrangement, customers are now required to pay their bills as soon as they are delivered to them. From Nalergo, Elias Sutanku, JoyNews.
The Komfanochi Teaching Hospital in Kumasi has not had a mammography machine for the past 10 years. That's according to the president of the association, Dr. Gestina Bedu-Pepera. The mammography machine is an important tool for the early detection and diagnosis of breast cancer. The Ghana Association of Radiologists is imploring on government to ensure that all district hospitals are fully equipped with the necessary radiology equipment to enhance quality health care. Dr. Gestina Bedu-Pepera has been speaking at the 11th Annual General Conference of the Association in Cape Coast.
Radiology provides essential diagnostic imaging services that help healthcare professionals identify and diagnose various medical conditions and diseases. X-rays, ultrasounds, CT scans, MRI scans, and other imaging modalities allow doctors to visualize internal structures and detect abnormalities, enabling them to make accurate diagnosis and develop appropriate treatment plans. Speaking at the 11th Annual General Conference of the Association, President of the Association, Dr. Augustine Abedu-Pepra, says the lack of fully functioning radiology equipment in the country is a major blot on Ghana's healthcare system.
CT scan, MRI, ultrasound. Most of the hospitals are able to procure X-rays and ultrasound, but not the CT scan and the MRI. Currently, nationally, we have only 3 centers with MRI. Tamale, which is not working now, then Konfanoche and Kolebu. So if you send a radiologist to where there is no MRI or CT or X-ray or fluoroscopy or ultrasound to work with, then the person will be redundant. So they are mostly in centers where these equipments are available, and they are available mostly in the regional capitals. And the newer ones in the northern region are hardly having this equipment. Tamale has, Techiman has, so with that, you have some people over there. But for the regions that are not having any of these equipment, we don't have radiology there.
She want government to intervene by ensuring that the hospitals are fully equipped.
At least every district hospital should be fully equipped with all necessary radiological equipment. Currently, as I speak to you, Konfanoche has not had a mammography machine for the past 10 years, which is something that needs to be there because breast cancer is the #1 cancer that kills women. And without a mammography machine, we cannot screen and we cannot image and diagnose these people. So we encourage the government to have a full setup of radiology equipment, one in each region, so that we can have a radiologist there to serve the whole region.
Central Regional Director of Health Services, Dr. Akosia Owusu Sapon, entreated radiologists to crave for continuous professional training to enhance the healthcare delivery system. She called for more resources to be allocated their way.
We also need to encourage them to enhance their knowledge and skills and have the confidence in providing high-quality care by providing opportunities for continuous professional development through training and workshops such as this, so that they stay up to date with the latest advancements in musculoskeletal radiology. Additionally, stakeholders need to provide them with access to advanced technology, such as the latest imaging technology and tools to aid in the diagnosis and treatment of musculoskeletal conditions.
The radiologists believe that access to proper radiology equipment is crucial for accurate diagnosis, treatment planning, and overall patient care. Reporting for JoyNews, Richard Kwejenyako.
School children in Talensi district of the Upper East region are playing the role of agents of change and ambassadors to facilitate community-led natural regeneration of native tree species. As part of this, the children have engaged in a drawing competition to make their voices heard on issues concerning deforestation and how it affects the environment. Correspondent Albert Sori has more.
For natural regeneration is an environment-based non-governmental organization working in the Upper East region to promote the regeneration of young trees and shrubs. As part of its work, the Forum for Natural Regeneration started the Farmer-Managed Natural Regeneration Eco Club project to give children a voice in the global efforts to protect the environment. The organization, therefore, organized an inter-school drawing contest for pupils in 15 selected basic schools in the Talensi district of the Upper East region. Themed Our Environment is Our Lives, the contest was meant to provide a platform for children to express their views on what they think are the environmental issues the world is facing today and what should be done at the community level to protect trees and the environment at large. Saka Sumaila is the executive director of the Forum for Natural Regeneration.
The children of today, who will steer the future affairs of our communities, should be aware of the environmental issues we face and allowed to sit on the table in finding practical solutions that go a long way in conserving and protecting our natural resources. The objective of the contest, therefore, is to support the creative expression of our Eco-Club members as young minds, to reflect on critical environmental issues in their communities as they see them in their minds, and also to promote and disseminate information among children and teachers on the importance of trees and the need to take care of them to protect the environment.
The 2-year project began in August 2021 and is being implemented in partnership with the Talense District Office of the Ghana Education Service with funding support from the Awaken Trees Foundation of Austria. Mr. Smiler said the farmer-managed Natural Regeneration Eco-Club project is supporting awareness creation to inculcate the habit of tree growing and regeneration in children.
In the midst of the current global climate crisis, children suffer more than adults, and the climate crisis is a child rights crisis. FONA will continue to work with our partners such as the District Assembly, the Ghana National Fire Service, NADMO, as well as our traditional leaders, so that together we can get children involved to understand the environment and the nature around them, so that they can help in building community resilience to climate change and environmental issues through ecosystem restoration.
At the end of the drawing contest, 2 pupils from the Kulpelga Primary School emerged winner and second runner-up, respectively. The first runner-up was a pupil from the Dapori Primary School, whilst a pupil from the Gorogo Primary School came in 4th. The winner, 12-year-old Frank Bandag, explained his art to JoyNews.
What he's trying to say, these trees represent the trees around our environment, and the eyes that we are seeing here, he said the eyes represent the human beings in the environment. And so if you look at the drawing here, part of the tree is green. Simply, it means that there's no bushfire around this side, and because of that, the trees are not disturbed or they are not burned up. And more to the point, the water being here, it has helped the trees to grow healthy, and because of that, we are breathing or we get oxygen from this particular tree. But if you look at the other side of the drawing, this eye is in tears, meaning this particular environment, the human beings here, they are not taking care of the environment here, and they have made bushfire and all that. They have made the tree dry up.
Reporting for JoyNews, Albert Sori, Tongo, Talense District.
In whole management of the Evangelical Presbyterian College of Education in Amejope in the whole West District of the Volta region has lamented the infrastructure deficit of the Teacher Training Institute. According to the principal, Dr. Dixon Che, the deficit coupled with deteriorating state of its access and campus roads is taking a toll on the operations of the institute. He made this known at the 15th congregation of the school.
The Evangelical Presbyterian College was established in 1946 with the motto Education for Service. Amankwa has surmounted its infrastructure challenge to produce a significant number of teachers at the basic school level, a staff flat, a 10-seater modern sanitary facility, and 2 hostels to accommodate about 500 students are at various stages of completion. Addressing the 15th congregation, the principal, Dr. Dixon Che, underscored the need for more infrastructure.
One of the biggest challenges is the absence of a college auditorium. And as we are here, we are praying that the rain does not disturb us. It's a very serious problem. It is disheartening to note that this college organizes and holds its official events such as this in the open. The only administration block built in the centuries back look very much old and inadequate to accommodate the increasing number of administrative staff. I therefore plead for government and other stakeholders to I plead that they quickly move in and help to get us a new ultramodern administrative block for our staff.
He also lamented the deteriorating access and internal road networks.
Anyone who used the road from the corner house to the college is a living testament to the debilitating nature of our road, leading to the college and the campus inner roads as well.
The Howard District Chief Executive, Ernest Apau, assured of the government's commitment to the development of the school.
Management is aware that government is speeding up action to ensure that we re-award the various blocks to ensure that they are completed for accommodation and other facilities of the school to be in excellent condition. As we speak, the bills and quantities of Amankwa Township roads, of which the college is a key beneficiary, is ready, and steps of procurement are also ongoing. And government promised you that every promise that we gave was delivered. The bus was delivered, the water situation was solved, the school blocks, the road are also waiting. They will all be cleared. Let us remain working together as a team.
174 students graduated with Bachelor of Education in Primary and Bachelor of Education in Junior High School. The congregation was unique as it witnessed the awarding of 7 first-class honors in about a decade. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Amejope.
The Environmental Justice Foundation says it is working with coastal communities in Ghana to protect sea turtles from being killed and sold by fishermen. The move, according to them, is to help restore fish populations, reduce the impact of overfishing, and support Ghana's marine wildlife into the future. Communication and Media Officer for Environmental Justice Foundation, Charles Smith, has been speaking on the occasion of World Turtle Day.
The Environmental Justice Foundation says since 2019, its turtle conservation project in Ghana has saved 39 sea turtles and safely released them back to the sea. The turtles came from a range of species: 27 olive ridleys, 5 leatherbacks, 5 green turtles, 1 hawksbill, and 1 loggerhead. The rescues were made possible through a community-led approach to protecting sea turtles. Out of the 39 safe releases achieved by EJF, 28 were turtles caught mistakenly by fishers. The turtles were entangled in their net and the fishers wanted to sell them to turtle meat processors to offset the cost of their damaged nets. However, the patrol teams were able to negotiate with the fishermen and the turtles were released back into the sea. Speaking to mark the World Turtle Day in the Central Region, Communication and Media Officer of the Environmental Justice Foundation, Charles Smith, emphasized the need for the turtles to be protected for the sake of the ocean.
Sea turtles are very important in our fisheries sector. They eat jellyfish, which ordinarily consume fingerlings, a fish species. And then the other thing that they do is to weed or eat the seagrass. They weed our sea, and so they are very important to our work. And the other thing that we do on this project is to make sure that we wean women who are into turtle processing off that work, and we've been able to do that successfully. We have 2 women who were previously into turtle processing, but they have stopped because we have provided them with an alternative livelihood. With this project, we've been able to also safely release 39 sea turtles between 2019 and April this year. Of the 649 nestings that were recorded, 493 were successful, and then 137 hatchlings were released back into the sea after our guys were at the beach. So sea turtles are very important. It is one of the main reasons we have established these turtle conservation clubs in 6 basic schools here in Gomoafete. And what we do basically is to educate them.
Site manager for Winneba Pomazi Ramsar site of the Wildlife Division of the Forestry Commission, Vivian Aye Ado, says the sea turtles play a vital role in the rebuilding of fishery stock, and all efforts must be made to protect them if the country wants to deal with its dwindling fish stock.
If they know the values of this turtle, I think they will help us. We wouldn't even wait for somebody to come and tell us we have to protect or conserve sea turtle. I've been treating all fisher folks, fishermen and fishmongers, that they should stop killing and trading in turtle. We have laws protecting them. They are wholly protected animals in wildlife regulations, and we don't have to process any part or any of the sea turtles.
As Ghana joins the rest of the world in marking World Turtle Day, the Environmental Justice Foundation says it will continue to encourage poachers to end their poaching activities and instead become protectors, bring children into the campaign as future turtle defenders, provide supplementary livelihood support for turtle processors, and expand the successful beach patrol approach to other coastal communities. Richard Kwejenyako.
Back in the studio, my name is Aisha Ibrahim. Let's take a break. When we return, there's more coming from business. Welcome back to JoyNews Desk. Now, government says it's taking necessary steps to review all existing flagship programs as part of its objectives to strengthen fiscal policy. This was contained in the IMF's May 2023 country report on Ghana. One of the flagship programs, Free SHS, has already been described by the fund as poorly targeted, with the country's education system producing poor learning outcomes. My colleague Isaac Ofieje has been studying that report. He joins me in the studio for a chat. What informed government's decision to review all its flagship programs?
Right, so you know the IMF bailout package, there are certain conditions that government must meet to get all the disbursements.
Yep.
In terms of structural and then also fiscal policies, there must be some sort of adjustment.
Yeah.
And with respect to this flagship programs that we're talking about, government has been given some updates in the report, the May 2023 report on Ghana. So according to government, and I'm stating this, I'm quoting what government said, they said they are taking steps to review all, flagship programs.
Okay.
And the last time we checked...
That's an instruction from the IMF?
Well, it is government's own
advice
policy to achieve fiscal discipline or the fiscal...
To meet IMF requirements.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we checked from the 2023 budget to see the number of flagship programs that government currently has. You know, it's been varying if you compare year on year. So when we checked, we found 16 of them, including the Free SHS, One District, One Factory, the 1D, 1F, and then also the current one, which is the hospitals across all districts. So the government is saying it is taking steps to review, and if we say all programs, then it means we are including a Free SHS as well, because they did not exclude any program. It stated categorically that all programs. And so we also did some small checks, and we saw that if you look at these 16 flagship programs that we're talking about, government has actually projected that this year it is going to spend some 9.6 or a little over 9 billion Ghana cedis on it, which is more than $900 million. So you ask yourself, is it resource constrained, or is it that some of these programs we do not need them again, or what is it going to be in terms of reviews? And government is also saying that, they've been studying so many things, and they will look at the future of all these 16 programs that we're talking about. So between 2020 and 2023, we've spent a lot on this flagship program, especially the
Do we know how much we've spent on each of them? Do we have how many? 16, you said?
16. That's as of 2023.
Okay.
So 2023, just like I said, we are hoping to spend some 9.6 or a little over 9 billion on it. I think last year, 2022, the figure was around the same amount. So it's been varying, but on the average, it's around $8 billion a year. So we need to pump $8 billion every year to make sure that we have all of these, flagship programs running.
Do we know how much we need to reduce spending on these flagship programs to be able to meet the IMF requirements?
Well, so we do not have the specific figure, but what we know is that in 2023, there's a huge a budget deficit for government to fund. So Aisha, we've been talking about this all on PM Express. So if you look at government, the projected expenditure is over 200 billion Ghana cedis.
Yep.
Revenue is just around 160 million or 90 or 80 million dollars. Sorry, Ghana cedis. Okay. If you strike the difference, we have a whopping 60 billion worth of deficit to fund. And that is what we are trying to reduce. So if you are trying to reduce your deficit, two things. It's either you increase revenue or you cut down on expenditure. Yeah. But we know government has been tackling this from both sides. On the revenue side, they've introduced, I think, 4 or 3 new taxes, trying to bring in some 4 billion Ghana cedis. The expenditure side, so they are cutting down on so many things. It's in the IMF program, including the review of the 16 flagship programs.
Okay, so it's something that we have to dig deeper and see how government is going to handle this. Kofi J is with our research desk, and we'll take a break on Joy News today and give way for business.
Hello, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Industry is expected to benefit immensely as technology company Siemens enters into a strategic partnership program with Ghanaian business Process and Plant Automation Limited, PPA. The agreement, according to the head of partner management, Andre Brits, makes PPA a solution partner in the Global Approved Partner Program. He disclosed this to Joy Business at a signing ceremony at the Automation Hub at Spintex here in Accra. Tema correspondent Kwame Anka has more.
Technology company Siemens considers industry partners as vital in its global strategy. Process and Plant Automation Limited, PPA, which is the largest electrical engineering and automation company in the country, became the first accredited partner in Ghana for Siemens. Before announcing the partnership, Siemens South Africa considered PPA's marketing consistency, sound business framework, as well as vision for joint growth and benefit after months of evaluation. PPA, as part of the agreement, will benefit from skill development and training to meet industry demands, being fully equipped in the engineering space. Head of Partner Management, Siemens, Andre Brits says digital transformation is crucial for growth.
Siemens is in the forefront of digital transformation globally. And obviously with that included and embedded in all our strategies. The industry in Ghana will, through PPA, be able to be exposed on a consistent basis to all the new developments and all the new solutions that are being made available globally. And Siemens will make sure that PPA is properly equipped and properly educated to be able to not only deliver but also to design and support these systems. Because digital transformation is at the forefront of growth. And globally, it has been proven that digital transformation excels the industry and it brings excellence into the products that's developed at better pricing, making companies more efficient.
With PPA being the only business among 7 to meet all requirements, Andre Brits is encouraging future partners to put their house in order.
So we have already looked in Ghana at 7 companies. And of all of that we had evaluated, PPA was the tops. This does not mean we will stop looking. We will continue looking because the industry is good and great. And there may be others that could also fulfill the requirement. However, our focus is now going to be to empower and ensure the success of PPA together with our teams. We call it a one-team approach. With PPA. That's going to be our focus. If others come along, we will do the evaluation again, and it's an opportunity for every company. And we really hope for Ghana that this partnership will encourage others to actually uplift to the level of PPA.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of Process and Plant Automation, Engineer Kweku Asma, says the partnership gives PPA wider coverage as had its impact on Ghana's economy.
Yeah, so the partnership basically gives us a lot of room and expands our coverage in terms of what we can do to support our customers. In the past, we have been supporting Siemens, but there's a limit when you are not a partner. There are situations where you need the manufacturer to step in to support your customer. That wasn't there in the past. With this partnership, what it means is that we're going to move into deeper areas and support our customers better. So for us, it's a good thing. It's going to enhance our growth. It's going to support our customers. Customers' trust would go up, and we would all succeed, and I believe Ghana would succeed. It enables us to provide improved services and faster services and at a cheaper cost to the customer.
With over 160 employees, PPA has in the last 2 decades delivered numerous electrical engineering and automation solutions for its local and multinational clients.
Now, expect the Ghana Cedi to make a significant comeback against the dollar and other major currencies this week. That's forecast by many research institutions, including GCB Capital, Databank Research, and Republic Securities. The Cedi gained over 8.6% to the dollar last week. Here's more in this report.
The Cedi ended last week as the world's top performer after narrowing its year-to-date loss on the retail market to about 7%. Analysts expect the anticipated foreign exchange inflow from the International Monetary Fund deal to show up Ghana's foreign reserves and strengthen the Cedi. However, they expressed concern about the decline of Ghana's imports cover by 35% as of April this year. Ghana's balance of payment financing gap throughout the IMF support program is estimated at about $15 billion, with the $3 billion package making up 20% of the total needs. The program envisages additional funding from the World Bank, among others. Therefore, the exchange rate outlook hinges on the time frame for completing the external debt operation and a successful biannual reviews under the program.
All right, and that's it for business. The news returns after this break.
That's how we wrap up this morning on Joy News. Let's log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories when you log in. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. See you again at 12.